Alright, welcome back to the shop for another episode of Old School Cool. So what we have here is a very early Milwaukee drill. This is branded as a hole shooter. I don't think it is the earliest hole shooter. Milwaukee started in with this name pretty early, but this is a fairly old one. It's pretty close to the original design that A.H. Peterson, I believe it was A.H. Peterson, used on their drills. Very, very similar, but not quite exactly. It's starting to get tweaked here with a few things, but very similar to a bunch of other drills that later came about. We can see here on the nameplate that it's a 1/4-inch drill. I talked about it in another video, but at the time there was many, because you didn't have variable speed drills and you didn't have cordless drills and any of that stuff. This is I don't think we had, oh yeah, here we go, load speed 1,000 RPM. We don't have a no load speed on this one, but it's probably around 2,000 or so is what they would have said. We'll throw the Vita root on it and see. But what would happen with these drills is, because there was no variable speed drill, if you had a speed that you were looking for a process, you would actually order the drill for the speed range that you wanted. So there's many different models of drills at this time, and the different size chucks, 1/4, 5/16, 3/8, half, 5/8, 3/4, and then Morse taper sizes. All the speeds would vary with those size, chucks and what have you. So what you have with this drill is as an early hole shooter, as you see. What I did with it was I buffed it up. It was not this nice when I got it. I went with some red trim here and there, just experimenting. All new bearings in it. Cleaned up the inside, varnished it. Also, new cord, cleaned up the switch, took the chuck apart, cleaned it up, and this one has new jaws in it. These are nice chucks. They go to 0. Get it to focus there. There we go. They go to 0. I left some of the old dirt on it because that's some characteristics. But overall, I'm happy with how this drill turned out. The brush holders or the brush retainers are probably not the exact ones that are supposed to be on it. The ones that came on it were broken, and I had these that fit, so can't be too picky when you have something that works. But the drill does runs pretty good, actually. We'll run it here. Nothing majorly wrong with it. It runs great. No variable speed, no reversing, and no trigger lock at this time. This is an early drill. They didn't even put trigger lock on them at this point. This was a drill that is off of the frame that Henry Ford had A.H. Peterson design for his assembly lines. So this drill was designed to be used in an assembly line, one or two-handed, for extended periods of time. It's a production tool. So it's pretty interesting to get your hands on an early piece of, Industrial Revolution tool here. Especially with assembly lines and everything else. I should say more modern Industrial Revolution. But I think it's an interesting tool. It was a fun restoration project. None of these are overly complicated, but taking the time and going through them and redoing everything is kind of fun. And it's neat seeing how the designs of the drills change over time. At some point, I have a few of these version of the drill, and maybe we'll get them all out and compare them at some point and see how the design evolved over the years. So I think what we'll do next is we'll get out the Veeder root and we'll see how this thing runs. All right, so we got this set up. I think I have it in a position here where we'll be able to see the tachometer, the return of the Veeder root, and probably what I'll do is I'll fast forward the footage, and we'll see a lot of these drills that have a grease in them. This one has grease in it as labeled there, and this is actually a screw that you can take out to add grease. A lot of these, till the grease gets a chance to warm up, they run a little slower. So what we'll do is we'll run it a little bit and see about where the speed level's off, and that'll be its no load RPM. Whether or not that was rated, maybe we'll take a guess at it when we see. Some of these were 1900 RPMs. We'll see how high this gets. So let's see what we get. So there we go. I finally got my hands timed right there. This thing's leveled out somewhere around 1628 RPM. Not surprising. I mean, the full load RPM of this thing, they claim, is 1,000. Drill's probably just about 100 years old, so pretty impressive, really. This is, like I say, it was a fun restoration project. I think I have some pictures of this being restored. I'll throw them in the slideshow if I do. Other than that, not a whole lot else to it. All these drills are kind of, you know, I don't think guys would really be using this sort of stuff regularly. I plan on kind of playing around with them in the shop, seeing how they do. I have some ideas on making up a variable speed adaptation for some of them, and we'll just see where some of that goes. All in all, just playing around in the shop and having some fun. So there we go. We got another old school cool here, and we'll keep taking a look at some of these old tools as we get them restored. So that ought to do it for this episode. Thanks for watching.